The Souls-like genre has gained a new edition with its Enotria The Last Song, the debut title from Jaima Games, and in this video I will literally tell you why you should try this game this weekend. So let's start. If you're new to the channel, please like and comment. If you're not new and you've seen some of our videos and you're still not a subscriber, well, tell me the reason why you're not. And if it's something that stops you, do it now. Do it now. Today is the day. And let's go. So with striking visuals and a few unique mechanics, this game aims to carve its own place in a very crowded genre of Souls-like, especially since the last 2-3 years we've seen so many different games released in this genre and most of them are just repeating the same story, same way, with same characters in a way, just maybe like a little small things, and overall it needs something fresh, new faces. While Enotria has several standard qualities, particularly in its connection to Italian folklore and aesthetic, it's not without the flaws that could be hinder even the most dedicated Souls-like fans. At the first glance, Enotria feels like a true successor of the Dark Souls, offering a world kind of filled with environmental storytelling, difficult combat, and haunting beauty. The game's protagonist, the Makeless One, moves through the world ravaged by the Cavancio, a force that repeats events and the worlds over and over. As a character, Maskless One journeys involves into crafting his own destiny by confronting powerful beings called authors, the rulers of the day's repetitive cycle. The world's building and lore rooted into dead Italian folklore provides a refreshing backdrop, but it falls short in its execution. The non-playable characters, or also known as NPCs, found through the game are often key addition into depths of the Souls-like games, feel very undeveloped. They don't kind of like feel of something memorable, meaningful interactions that players expect without like kind of leaving the world a bit of hollow, in the comparison to From Software titles. In terms of gameplay, Enotria The Last Song introduces some new innovations, notable to parry and deflecting mechanics that are reminiscent of the Sekiro Shadow Die Twice. Parrying doesn't stun enemies, but it builds their unravel gauge, which allows players to deliver their powerful finish blows. However, the mastering the precise delivers a lot of timings, and especially the pairings will be really something that you will need to master, and some of the aggressive enemies attack patterns. While deflecting attacks feels rewarding, when done correctly it demands on well-trained eye and quick reflexes, making the combat experience both satisfying and punishing. In addition, the game introduces the mask lines, abilities to add offensive and defensive skills that will basically help you through the games in terms of your play style. I have to say this is something that you will actually look a lot into, and kind of giving these abilities that will be depending on your playstyle that are charged by hitting enemies, and their integration into combat adds a depth and variety through the leaning curve that can be still learned. Okay, so combat remains in the core of the experience, but while the mechanics can be thrilling, the certain element feels undercooked. So let me tell you about this. The over-resilience of the party system that repeats of the enemies types, especially in the boss battles, can be causing a lot of fatigue. Some bosses are memorable with challenging mechanics and unique designs, but others feel very familiar or overly recycled, especially in the form of similar enemies like sword-bearing kings, giant crabs with the minimal variations, and something like this. While still Enotria gets it kind of right, the boss fights are very adrenaline pumping, testing every skill of the player, and this is just a comment that I feel like would be better if they would do it differently. Where Enotria shines, it's in the world design. The game offers stunning visuals with sun-soaked landscapes, rich Italian-inspired architecture, and eerie abandoned ruins. The vibrancy of the environment contrasts into sharply and very nice and the darker of more oppressive atmosphere. The game feels like a Dark Souls making exploration in terms of a visual threat, secrets and rewards waiting those who are willing to stray from the beaten path, offering the moment of awe. However, performance issues such as an occasional frame rate drops are something that you feel like still needs to be fixed, at least at the moment when I was playing the game. While Enotria introduces some intriguing mechanics like reality rifts that adds Ardore burst, which allows players to kind of temporarily charge the environment, it feels like the new areas could be really very interesting. These mechanics have potential, but its restriction specifies creating a completely different game in the very saturated genre. A Georgia's world design, innovative combat mechanics that show potential even if some aspects need refined. For fans of the Souls-like games, I think this is a very fair game to try, and it's a very good step by Jaima Games to create a new game that will kind of step into the genre. Like I said, is very hard. It's almost impossible, to be fair, to create a great game in terms of how it will be received by the public audience in Souls-like, because there are not so many and the standard is so high. But at the same time, I think the game kind of does a really very good job in terms of showing what they can do. So if you don't agree with me, drop a comment why. If you agree with me, like the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're not new but not subscribed, well, do the same thing. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.